Hi everybody, this is Odd Samurai, and today I'm going to be reacting to Monogatari off-season and monster season episode 8. But first, let's talk about last episode. And first, I just want to point out how this is the very first time we get where a character introduced in an arc is the one actually being the POV character. Like, that's the first time, and once you really think about it, it's kind of bizarre. But maybe it won't be the last time. But yeah, now that we've had it happen now, it's like, oh yeah, that is weird, isn't it? Because usually, this feels so almost like disconnected. But yeah, like most of the time it's like it's Araragi being the POV character. So we get introduced to most, if not, no, I would say most characters from his perspective. And then once we get another POV character, well, we already know them from his eyes. So it's all from like, how are they like from their, being in their head. But here it's like, oh, we've never known, heard, seen dystopia before. But she's just here. She's the one we're in the headspace of. Okay. So it's kind of like, well, I guess it's like more so seeing Shinobu, aka Kiss Shot, aka Acerola, from the POV of someone who knew her way, way before than anyone else we've known. But yeah, it's also like, oh, okay. I guess this is also just, also a very efficient way to get to know who this Dystopia is by straight up just getting inside of her head from the moment we get introduced to her. So yeah, that's neat. But yeah, I'd almost forgotten how the episode even started. And it was Dystopia regretting, or at least a little bit, how she named Kiss Shot. Not the name itself, but just that she gave her a name at all. As a vampire. So she says, yeah, giving her a name. Not turning her into a vampire, but just giving her a name. So I'm still so curious how that's going to happen. And the way that she explains it is like, well, you become attached to your pet once you give it a name. It's like, oh, true. Kind of like, I don't know. Don't give a name to a cow that is going to turn into meat to eat. Otherwise, it's going to be very hard to say goodbye to it. Something along those lines. But at the same time, like, do we take this at face value? Because that's just the way that Dystopia understands the connection between herself and someone she was supposed to eat. Or we take it and being like, oh no, she did start to care for Shinobu more than that. But this is just the way that she understands it. And yeah, she doesn't know what kind of attachment it was. Friendship, affection, lust. Something she's unsure of in hindsight. So that's already telling us something about how Dystopia sees others. but one thing's for sure, she did get attached to Acerola. But there was one thing for certain, it was not appetite. Why? Because that name doesn't sound tasty for the name of a meal. So I think basically she's saying like, oh, she couldn't eat her because the name doesn't sound appetizing. But I think it's the other way around. She gave her that name because she didn't want to eat her anymore. Now, whether she was aware of that when she did that, probably not. But I think that's probably the reason. Oh, and then yeah, we start off basically in something of like in media res, because this scene is basically placed after the what we see when the episode ends. So yeah, basically the whole episode is leading up to this. Also, she's eating her own head, so there's definitely something going on with her biology. Like, after she died, shouldn't her head have just been like disintegrated? That's usually what it happens to like high quality vampires, like full powered kiss shot and full vampire Araragi. And when it didn't happen to Kiss Shot, it's because she was missing her heart. But I don't think this is what's going on here. So there's definitely something special about Deathtopia. Like, she might be the one and only true immortal vampire. Maybe the only thing that can actually kill her for sure is sunlight. But even then, like, we have a case like Seishiro, even though he was killed by sunlight, he still came back. It just took him like 400 years. So, we'll see if we find out about this, how this works. But yeah, then we see a conversation between her and Acerola. Was they're already acquainted with each other, and they already made the deal. But yeah, basically Acerola still tries to dissuade her from trying to eat her, because obviously it's just gonna end up on Deathtopia dying and dying and dying again. But she's just very, very stubborn. And just very, like, she has a lot of pride in herself. So she's not gonna give up easily. I guess she just likes a challenge. But also, it's also the, like, big, close-minded way that she has about the way that she goes on eating things, you know? I only eat the things that I kill, and that is that. And the way she just keeps on reaffirming that to herself. Maybe it's a sort of like, I don't know, maybe some sort of like way of establishing like independence for herself. Like, obviously she doesn't need it anymore. But maybe that's how it started. Or maybe not independence, but you know, like, what's the way I could say it? I don't know, maybe it'll come to me, but like, she just has to be the one to do it. She just doesn't need anyone else's help. She has to be the one always being the active player in it. I don't know. But yeah, she dies for the 5th time, and then we go back in time to before she meets her. And then we meet Tropicalesque. And we see that even though he's very, I wouldn't say disrespectful, but it could come across as that with how much of a worrywart he is to Dystopia. And she sees it as annoying, and just unnecessary. But still, I don't think she ever, like, actually interrupted him or even threatened him. Like, it never felt like she was actually gonna go through with anything because of the way that he was acting. So, yeah, it establishes the relationship as, like, very clearly, like, yeah, this is no equal situation like how Shinobu and Araragi are now in. This is very clearly a master-servant relationship, but she still gives him the chances to talk and to air out any concerns that he has, even if she sees them as ridiculous or impossible. She still values his opinion in some way. And I think at some point she says, like, he's the only minion she has left. Yeah. So she must have had some before him, obviously. Or including him. But either they died, or she let them go, abandoned them, something. And then she finds out what happened to the kingdom that they live in. And then Tropicalesque asks if she's heard of the fairy tale of the beautiful princess, which that's kind of crazy, that Acerola was still alive and fairly young. I don't know, let's say she's like, I don't know, early to mid-20s here. And what happened around her, it's already that legendary, that the fairy tale already exists. So yeah, Tropicalesque fills her in on that. Oh yeah. She's not a monster, she's a human female. A plague. I was looking for Tropicalesque, calling her, like, I don't know, something like more evil than any vampire or something, but maybe it was in a different scene. But yeah, Dystopia does have her moments where, like, she's about to get mad because it looks like Tropical is really underestimating her, but it still lets him speak and explain himself. I'll still what's the word? Reiterating? I killed and I eat, that's my policy. As a vampire and a gourmet, I don't know if that is just the notion of a vampire being a gourmet. It's like, okay. Kind of reminds me of, like, Tokyo Ghoul with Tsukiyama, but I don't think she's not quite like that. But that's the only thing I could think of. Yeah, I want to eat as little as possible if it was food that I did not kill myself. Yeah, she's just like, she's very, you could say, a slave to her impulses and her hunger. And that might cost her. Doing what I decide upon and doing in the manner I decided on is who I am. Yeah, she feels, I don't know, this could be me, but this feels like a bit of an insecurity in her choices. Like, she's so dead set on what she thinks it's the ideal way of going through life. So, when something different changes that defies what she believes in, she's gonna keep on crashing against the same wall. So then she goes and looks through the town, and then she finds Acerola there. Takes one good look at her, and then she dies. And then Acerola explains to her what happened, but obviously she doesn't believe her. Yeah, I'm a monster, I'm a vampire. Yeah, like, she's like, yeah, really, did I do that? I don't think so. I'm a monster who kills and eats humans. Yeah, Acerola is just like, oh, okay, really? You're a vampire? Cool, cool, cool. Like, nothing faces her at this point. She's just kind of jaded. And like, oh, okay, well, I guess that means you're not gonna die as easily as everyone else. So, that's good at least. But yeah, no reaction to anything that she says in regards to who she is. Oh yeah, I did notice that Dystopia uses the personal pronoun of ore with sama. So sama makes sense, She really sees herself as that high of a being. But ore is usually a very masculine, mostly used by guys in anime. So I wonder if that's, anything in regards to her personality. Oh yeah, then she asked, because Acerola says her name, so she's like, you're not a beautiful princess? And Acerola answers, no, that's from my childhood, a title, a derogatory name. Which totally makes sense at this point, yeah. Both beautiful and princess are basically shackles to her. But it seems like, yeah, the fairy tale of the beautiful princess is something from when she was a child. Which, what we see in the special, episode 7.5, it made it look as if she was at least a teenager. And also, it made us think that literally her skin was transparent after she made after the witch made the wish come true. But no, here she's just, she just looks like an ordinary human. But still, the whole thing about her beauty and her soul, it's still the same. But at the same time, like, oh, that goes to show. We were shown the fairy tale, but we weren't shown what actually happened. It's just a dramatized version of it. There's nobody left that still calls me as such. Yeah, because the kingdom, whereas no, what Dystopia is right now, it's a different kingdom from where Acerola was born. I wasn't even a princess or anything to begin with. Yeah, so that goes to show that the fairy tale is still. And though it told us, like, think of this as a lie. There was parts of lies and parts of truth in it. And Dystopia dies a second time. And here she eats her heart, which once again is like, how does that work? Because if a full-powered Kisha did that, like, I don't think she'd be able to get it back. But maybe? I mean, Oshino still had it and was still, beating. It's not like maybe if he had actually, like, I don't know, stabbed it with I don't know, a knife or something, maybe it would have regenerated inside her. But it's hard to say. I do think, I mean, I wonder if there's a symbolism concerning it looks like an apple here. I don't know, the only thing I can think of is maybe like Adam and Eve. But I don't know what that could relate to here with this. Yeah, she just eats it. It's the only thing worthy of being eaten by her right now. And then they talk about Acerola being on a journey searching for someone. And Dystopia just basically tries to chastise her for it. But obviously it's just, I don't think she really believes in what she's saying. She just doesn't want Acerola to leave because she wants to eat her. So she's just saying anything to get her to stop her journey. But obviously she doesn't really she doesn't really succeed on that at first. Because Acerola's main motivation right now is to get a solution to her problem, just so she can be the example to someone else in case this ever happens again. Yeah, she has precautions as to not have everyone in the kingdom die whenever she comes around to one, but she doesn't say exactly what she does. But then Dystopia is like, well, just stay here, you know? Yes, you can see I've died and come back already, so I seem to be the perfect person to help you out. And obviously, oh yeah. She says that she has knowledge of like magecraft. Now I don't know exactly what that means for the context of the series, but I'm just gonna throw a guess and say that Dystopia saying magecraft is basically what the specialist in oddities do in the modern time. And of course, yeah, their interests align because if Acerola gets rid of the curse, then Dystopia can eat her. And obviously, if Acerola can get rid of the curse, then she'll know exactly how it worked and maybe can, like, I don't know, write it somewhere for generations, future generations to find it. But we've never known in the modern time that records of that exist. So yeah, and that's it. I didn't expect to talk about that much about this episode, but then I rewatched it earlier today and I was like, oh damn, actually I do have more to say. So yeah. Also, we had a lot of chapters adapted in this first episode of the arc. And someone already told me that, considering that was a lot, we're most likely going to get the end of the arc this episode. So, yeah, pretty short arc. At least in the anime form. But yeah, some people see, like if you tell them like, oh, this arc is exactly this amount of episodes, that's a spoiler. I don't mind, but it still would be nice if you asked first, like, hey, do you want to know, you know, how long does this arc have left? But yeah, let's just get started with Wasa Monogatari Acerola Bon Appetit Part 2. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Chapter 10. Right. I mean... Hmm? Blessing? Ah. Well, that's how he sees it. Not an objective view of it. Hmm. Okay. Well, that's the first time we see so much blood. True. Yeah. 11. More like 7. I see. Huh. Can you even do that? Like, I feel like she would have already tried that. Is pretending really enough? Hmm. Yeah, watashi sounds so royal. Washi! That's how she refers to herself from ever since we've known her. Ah, what? Oh, this is when she gave her the name, not after she became a vampire. But it doesn't sound like a name for food. Did she die of a starvation? Yeah. Casually. Oh man, how much did he speak without her hearing him? That's what I would have expected him to start. Whoa. Oh. I mean, I figured. But then what? Why? Ah, I see. Losing one eye? Hmm. Another. I'm sorry. Oh. There you go. Of how to laugh? Hmm. Oh. Man, we're really seeing here. The beginnings of the foundation of the kiss shot we knew. That's how that ka laugh started, huh? That's so good. Oh, yeah, what was that thing made out of? I mean, it wasn't because of there wasn't a killing intent. It was to help her. Well, yeah, you're not eating anything. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Mm, there it is. Oh, I'd say it does matter. Mm. Well, there's no people to talk to. Oh, yeah, he did. Mm. Isn't her actual story also a fairy tale? Well, not actual story, but you know. Uh huh. Oh, right, okay. So that does exist already in this world. My own feelings. That was just a cool shot. Kiss. Kiss shot. Alright. Whoa, look at the blood moon red. Oh. And she looks smaller. That much? That often? No, she looks really skinny. All because of a useless, stubborn policy that she has. Oh shit! Where did Topicales go to her? Oh. Okay. Mm. Oh, really? Hmm. Well, I feel like Tropicalesque would have wanted that. Hmm. Oh! It was Acerola, the one who proposed it. Oh, that was her reasoning. Ooh. So that was how it started. Wow, the music. Also, the way she's only a silhouette right now. I guess the red background. Hmm. She already doesn't feel like a human anyway. Mm. Damn. Then how? Mm. Oh. Mm-hmm. Yes. It's about the will of the other person? Mm. Oh, yeah, this sounds epic. Oh? Yeah. Yeah. Ooh. That's a pretty good, whoa. Loophole. Mm. Mm. Oh, yeah. Washi, yeah. Ori no ja. Mm. Mm. Oh, there's the first time she gets her name. Oh. Oh. A praiseworthy prince, huh? Oh, this is so good. Okay. Yo, this is so pretty. Well, yo, both pretty and epic. Bon appetit, yeah. Acerola, bon appetit. Oh, I love the visuals. Eating and loving meant the same thing. Oh, the wings. It succeeded, of course. Oh, a plane. What? Are we gonna see where the Dystopia is in the present? Mm-hmm. Huh. Mm. Sure. Yep. Mm. レケツにして、レケツにして。Asrola Orion Hato and the Bredo. Yes. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. That did happen. Okay. Oh. Oh, that could complicate things quite a bit, considering how different things are now. Oh, no ending? But it makes sense. We did see the credits there. Man, okay. So that was the birth of Kiss Shot Acerola Orion Heart Underblade. And it just, yeah, it really did, like, feel as grandiose as it should. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I could try and, like, you know, put the relationship between Dystopia and Acerola in with, like, you know, a label. But, like, I don't feel like it. Like, I don't feel it needs one. It's just, you know, it's a relationship that had different layers to it. Now, what those layers were, I guess there's still a way to find out, because apparently this is not the last we're going to see of Dystopia. I'm just going to guess, like, literally it feels like she's giving us the premise of the next arc. Dystopia is going to see how Shinobu is doing in the present right now. Now, what is the present? I have no freaking idea. But I'm going to guess it's after Tokuwari. So she's going to meet Shinobu as Shinobu. And it's definitely going to be a problem, because Shinobu, it's now a harmless aberration. But dystopia is what I think is still just the high quality vampire that she always was. So I feel like we're going to have to do something in order to prevent her from eating people when she goes to Japan. And just basically tell her to, like, you can't stay here. You have to leave. So, yeah, I'm really curious on how that's going to go. But I'm so glad. Well, actually, I don't know. I was going to say, I'm so glad that we got this before we get the arc when we're going to see her with Shinobu in the present. But, like, if the order is reversed in the novels, I wonder if I would be doing the same thing. Maybe I would like it more if it had been reversed as my first experience. But right now, this feels easy and understandable for sure. But yeah, I have no idea why Tropicalesque just went up to Acerola's room when he knew he was more than aware of what would happen. And Dystopia said to him as much last episode. So I'm guessing he wanted to die. He was just very tired of dealing with Dystopia, not caring at all about herself, and just doing all this for what she thought was going to be a good meal. Honestly, I do feel bad for Tropicalesque, because you can tell that that Dystopia really, like, she cared, but in a really, like, minimum way. Like, if she thought she saw Acerola as a pet, no, man. Tropicalesque was a useful pet that she could use to go around and help her out on getting food and all that stuff. And, she was definitely eating him. Like, obviously because she needed it, but also to give him respect. And it's like, I feel like she definitely would have had a more bigger reaction if she ever found out that Acerola had died. I mean, she does say, like it's obvious when she puts it that way, like she saw Tropicalesque as a slave, whereas she really didn't want to treat Acerola the same way. It's like, you're basically going to be my minion, but you can do whatever the hell you want, I'm not gonna make you stay here with me and do whatever it is that I ordered you. So yeah, the bond between that, the whatever feelings Dystopia has or had for Acerola are definitely special. And this is probably the only relationship she ever had that was like this. The closest to being an equal relationship. And it's because she saw her like this before she ever turned her into a vampire who was like, I mean, obviously not an opponent. It's not like she could fight her, but like, you know, it's because she couldn't even fight her that she was like, okay, I gotta solve this puzzle. And trying to solve the puzzle, she got attached to it. And I think the biggest clue is like, when she thinks that Acerola is going to kill herself, and she looks genuinely angry. Like, doesn't look like she's like being like, oh, you're really gonna take this chance at a good meal away from me. But I think she genuinely believes what she's saying. When she's like, oh, now of all times you were really going to give up? Why now? That would be such a waste. Also, just seeing like all the ways that Dystopia taught her to be not beautiful, and that's like such iconic character traits from Kiss Shot. Later on, I'm like, yo, this is just so cool, seeing where everything started. But yeah, it is interesting that after so many times of dying, Dystopia basically gets her own lolly version of herself. But it didn't really seem like her voice changed that much. I guess because it's not like really like Shinobu. It's just a drawback. It's just a sign showing her that she's close to dying permanently. And also just to show that she's weaker. Now, I don't know exactly what the significance is really of Tropicalesque finding the whole, like if a prince kissed a princess, and then the curse that they're in will vanish. And it's brought up again later. When she says to Acerola, like, you may find like a worthy prince. But like, yeah, I'm not exactly sure. Maybe it's just like, sort of like Hanekawa and Nadeko, where it's like, oh, once you find your prince, everything will be okay and dandy. It was, like the illusion, the hope that that's how it would be. But reality was so much more different. But yeah, oh man, when they got to the scene where Dystopia was about to make Acerola into a vampire, their surroundings looked so cool. I love that they did it like, instead of it being all red like before, it turned like really very just realistic lighting of the moon. But also having like the sparkles of Acerola's beauty give it more of a lighting. I don't know, making it more bright. Also, the moment where she's like, this is the laugh that you should do when you're genuinely happy. It just, I was really trying to think, like, when has Shinobu ever laughed like that? And the only one that I could think of was definitely not a happy laugh. It was at the end of Kauki Monogatari, when, a full-powered Kiss Shot laughed at seeing Araragi and Shinobu So yeah, that just and that makes me think. It makes me really want to rewatch some scenes where Shinobu's laughing. It's like, oh, what kind of laugh is it? You know? And I wonder if she ever thinks about dystopia when she's doing those things anymore, or it's just like it's so ingrained in her after 600 years. It's like, oh, it just comes so naturally. She's even forgotten how all of this started. I mean, that's a possibility for sure. I mean, nothing happened really that would make me think, oh, Shino wants to forget this ever happened. But no. So then I mean, maybe it's because she has no regrets about this. That she's never brought it up? Because if you think about it like that, then it's like, oh, of course you'd bring up Seishiro. Because, well, for one, in Kisu, it was very related to the way that she saw Araragi. But also, like, how could she not think about the one that turned her into a vampire? And like, well, the situations are very different. Like, from the moment that Araragi woke up as a vampire, he's like, yo, can you turn me back? But his shot would have never ever thought of doing that. Because being a vampire, as lonely as it was still better than any time that she spent as a human. Also, the part where she's like, oh, all the people I eat, it'll be to like show the respect to the lives that were offered to me. Well, she definitely forgot about that. But that's, that reasoning is the way that things started, and then so much time passed. All humans just became food. Not exactly quite like dystopia, but still. I never got the impression that she was doing it out of respect and like sanctity. Out of the way that things started. Because of the curse. But yeah. I think that's all I have to say now. Once I really think about it more, we'll see. I'll probably spend like, I don't know, some good like 20 minutes talking about it. I just know. But I don't know if I'll be able to do it next week. There's a possibility I might be late on that one, so I'm just letting you know. But yeah, this was my reaction to Monogatari of Season Episode 8. So if you liked it, please like and enjoy. Until next time, see ya!